Hello class, in this video we talk about auto loan, section 8.6. In this section, there are some other important information I strongly recommend you study on your own, such as leasing a car, auto insurance, buying a new car, or buying a used car. So those are very important to your real life. But our focus is to solve problems related to car loan or auto loan. The first definition, installment loan. Let's look at the definition. A loan that you pay off with weekly or monthly payments or payments in some other time period is called an installment loan. Auto loan and home mortgage, they are both examples of installment loan. So if you get a auto loan and you pay back the money that you owe monthly, right? So that is called installment loan. Advantage of an installment loan is that the customer gets to use a product immediately. The disadvantage is that the interest can add a substantial amount to the cost of the purchase. Let's begin with car loans, in which you make regular monthly payments, and we call that kind of installment loan fixed installment loan. In the box, we have the formula to compute the fixed installment loan. PMT represents payment. In the expression on the right-hand side of the formula, P here is the loan amount. Okay, so we have seen P represent different meaning in different formulas. P here is the money you owe to the lender, is your loan amount or total loan amount. It's not a principal or payment. So P here in this formula refers to the loan amount. R is the annual interest rate. T is time in years. And N, since we are talking about auto loan, so you pay on a monthly basis. So N is always equals 12. N equals 12. So we do not spend time to derive the formula. And we only apply the formula to compute the monthly payment if you get a car loan. And that's the first method in my table note. Let's look at our table note for this section about installment loan. I have two examples. The one on the left is a car loan. The one on the right is home mortgage. And we are going to talk about home mortgage in the next video. This video we focus on auto loan. It is an important example about installment loan. And also in this table note, I listed 3 different methods to find the monthly payment if you get a car loan. The first method is to use the formula right here, the formula. But that method, as you know, as I stressed in my previous video, I do not recommend you apply this method. I strongly recommend you use the second method, the TMV solver in TI-84 calculator. So we're going to go through all the 3 methods, all right? And then we focus on the second method. Let's go back to our guided note and look at the example. Suppose that you decide to borrow 30 grand for a new car. You can select one of the following plans, each requiring regular monthly payments. So N equals 12, right? I have not heard anyone pay back the car loan or home mortgage by other time period of time. Always by month, always by month. Probably because we get paid, if we have a job, we get paid by month. Sometimes get paid bi-weekly, every 2 weeks. But most of us get paid by month. So the first plan, installment loan A, is a 4-year loan at a 3% annual interest rate. The second plan, Plan B, is a 6-year loan at a 4%. Plan A has a shorter period of time. You need to pay back all the loan, the money you owe in 4 years, but with lower interest rate. And Plan B, you have more time to pay back the loan. You have 6 years, but the interest rate is higher. Do you see the balance? Yeah, why the loan with a shorter time has a lower interest? The loan has a longer time with higher interest. And we have three parts in this problem. The first part, part A, find the monthly payments and the total interest for loan A. Okay, so let's see, how do we process the first part? I need to always double check I am not muting myself and is recording and I am sharing. Okay, everything looks fine. The first loan plan, loan A, we have T equals, let me organize the information that is given about loan A. T equals 4, R equals 3%, or 0.03 as decimal. And loan amount, P, P here is the loan amount, 30 grand. Right? So A is 12 because you pay back by month. You pay back your loan on a monthly basis. So the first method, we are going to use the formula to find the monthly payment, all right? It is a pretty complicated formula. It's a quotient, numerator and denominator. P is the loan amount, numerator 30,000, 1, 2, 3, 4. Multiplied by monthly interest rate. 0.03 is the annual interest rate. Divided by 12 is the monthly interest rate. Denominator is a difference in a bracket. Is the difference between 1 and the compounding factor to the power of negative nt. So let's see what is the compounding factor. Compounding factor is 1 plus the monthly interest rate, 0.03 over 12, to the power of negative 12 times 4. Yeah, of course, we know 12 times 4 is 48, right? Yeah, but be careful, it's a negative. The exponent on the shoulder of the compounding factor is negative. And this is the expression we need to evaluate to find the value of the monthly payment for Plan A, car loan option A. So use your calculator. Yeah, the first method, as I said, I do not recommend because, as you can see, it's very not convenient. But in case some of you prefer this method, it's possible. Yeah, and I'm going to show you how do we calculate, how do we evaluate this expression by using a calculator. I'm using the TI-84 calculator, okay? I'm going to share camera, show you my calculator. Okay, this one. Yeah, you are sharing HD camera, okay? So let's turn on my calculator and clear everything. Make sure you can rewind a little bit and write down the expression on your scratch paper, and I'm going to process it. And I'm going to use a parentheses to frame the numerator. So parentheses, in the numerator I have 30 grand, 2, 3, 4, multiplied by the monthly interest rate in a parentheses. Annual interest rate 0.03 divided by 12. Close the parentheses, that is the monthly interest rate. Close the numerator parentheses, so that's numerator. Divided by the denominator. I'm going to use this parentheses to frame the whole denominator. Yeah, we do not have a bracket on the calculator, so we use parentheses for all the grouping symbols. And we have 1 minus, get another parentheses. In the parentheses, we have a 1 plus monthly interest rate another parenthesis, 0.03 divided by 12, close the parentheses for the monthly interest rate, and then close the parentheses for the compounding factor, and then raised to the power of, get another parenthesis, negative 48. Do you still remember the negative sign on the calculator? It is different from the minus sign, okay? And then now I'm going to close the parentheses that frame the whole denominator. Yeah, you can pause and rewind and repeat the part. And the answer I got is $664. If we round it up, 3 cents. 3 cents. Let me write it down. The monthly payment. It doesn't really say how do we round it, right? It doesn't say how do we round it. So monthly payment. So then we just follow the normal rounding rule because it's not specified. How do we round the answer? But when you work on your assignments in MATLAB Math, you will see the instruction. Yeah, please do not ignore it. Pay attention to the description in the parentheses. So my answer, our answer is $664. If I round it up to the nearest cents, 0.3, 3 cents. So you pay that much money every month for 4 years, and you will completely own the car. Yeah. Before you clear your loan, your car actually does not belong to you, belong to the bank, right? Belong to a lender. All right, so that's the first method. That's the first method. Since I'm still sharing my calculator, I'm going to show you the second method. That's the method I strongly recommend. If you watch my video, you have heard that a lot. I repeatedly stress, please get a TI-84 calculator. It definitely worth the money or the effort to borrow one. It will make your job a lot easier. And you already invest in so much to take this class. And it really doesn't matter, to be honest, maybe it's not proper to say that $100 calculator will not make you like a poor, or without spending the $100 will not make you rich either. Yeah. My point is, get a calculator. So let's go to the apps, finance, select the TBM solver. In the menu, the first item, capital N, is the total number of your payments during the longevity of the loan. So the loan is 4 years, right? And you deposit once a month. So 12 times 4. You don't even have to calculate it on your own. The calculator will do that for you. And annual interest rate, yeah, look at your scratch paper. It's 3%, right? Just end the 3. Just put 3 there. And the PV, present value of your loan. Present value of your loan is the loan amount you owe. 30 grand. Okay? Yeah. When you are funding the monthly payment for getting a car loan or home mortgage, your present value is the money you borrow, is your loan amount, total loan amount. Monthly payment is the item we are trying to solve for, so leave it as 0. We are going to go back very shortly. Future value. What do you want your future value of the loan to be in 4 years? You want a 0, right? Yeah. Future value of a loan must be 0. Future value of your loan must be 0. Then in 4 years, you are done. And you own the car completely. And P per Y and C per Y, both of them are 12. Yeah, when it comes to auto loan, when you pay back your loan by month, N is 12 always. Yeah. But still need to pay attention to the question in case it has something special condition. But our question is 12 for sure. Let's go back PMT, monthly payment, and then we solve for payment. Do you see the same value? $664.03, right? Okay. So let me go back our note. I'm going to show you the third method to find out the monthly payment if you get an auto loan. Let's wait for the system to share the whole screen. Okay, yeah, when you see the tunnel, it is sharing. And I'm going to use Excel. You might remember those from previous video, right? Yeah, let me start a new page. Make it bigger. So equal sign, always start a function in Excel. Payment, left-handed parentheses. Rate, annual interest rate 3%, 0.03. But we consider monthly interest rate. So 0.03 divided by 12. Comma, NPER 48. Yeah, you have 48 periods. You have 48 monthly payments in total. PV, present value, your loan amount, 30 grand for new car. Future value, 0. Type, 0. Yeah, you deposit the payment end of every month. So the whole book is only choose end. Same thing, right? Yeah. The rounding, be careful the rounding. This cell is set up to keep 2 decimal places. In case you need to follow a different rounding rule, you have to change it, right? Yeah. So as I said, the Excel is just an optional or alternative method that you can play with or double check your answer. Okay, so that's the first part of part A. We got the monthly payment of plan A. We also need to find out the interest for loan A, right? That's the cost of the loan A. And what's the cost? How do we find that? If we pay $664.03 every month for 48 months, right? That's how much money we spend on a car loan. And then we are going to subtract the money you owe, which is 30 grand, 2, 3, and the difference would be the cost or interest of the loan A. Yeah, let's process that on this simple calculator. And we have 664.03 multiplied by 48. And that's how much money you spend, right? Yeah, every month you spend money on a car loan. Every month you spend money on a car loan for 48 months, for 4 years. And that's how much money you end up with spending. And then subtract the money you owe, 30 grand. And the difference is 1873.44, 1,873.44 cents. And that's the interest, okay? That's the cost of the auto loan. To be honest, it's not that much. Yeah, it's not that much because the interest rate is pretty low, 3%. 3%. You know, let me see what's the regular auto loan interest. It's been a while for me to buy a car. Just double check. Auto loan interest rate today. What is it? Yeah. You see that? It's not 3% that low. It's a lot higher. It's a lot higher. Annual APR is 6.29%. And your nominal annual interest rate would be similar to that, very close to that, not far away. Okay, so let's go back our note. And that's part A for loan option A. Yeah. Let's look at plan B. 6-year loan is 4%. Let's organize the information. 4 years, so 6 years, so T equals 6. R equals, what is it? 4%. 4% is 0.04. And A equals 12. P, the loan amount is 30 grand as well. Yeah. You know what? In this part, I'm not going to use the formula again. I'm going to just use the second method and third method. All right? So let's go back. The calculator. Apps. Yeah, turn on my calculator first. Oh, it's already there, right? Yeah. So we just need to fix something. We need to fix the value for big N. Instead of 48, we're going to have 12 times 6, 72, because it's not 4 years anymore, it's 6 years. And interest rate is higher, is 4%, so change that to 4. And everything else, you know what, stay the same. Stay the same. And then we are going to solve for payment. As you can see how convenient it is, right? The monthly payment is $469. If we 36 cents. So 469, let me write it down, is equal to $469, $469, 36 cents. Okay? Yeah, if you really want to use the formula, I cannot prevent you from doing that. I'm just, want to make your job easier. Let's go back the note. Okay? And if we use the Excel earlier, yeah, we can just fix a few numbers. Change this to 4% and change this to 72. And everything stays the same. Is that the same value? $469.36, right? Exactly the same. And very convenient. Really just only took you a few seconds if you grasp the method. And what's the interest? The interest or the cost of the loan is going to be your monthly payment multiplied by 72 and then minus the money you owe. Okay, let's do that calculation on the calculator. 469.36 multiplied by 72 and then minus 30, 1, 2, 3, correct. And that is the cost. And double check. Yeah, that is a lot more than earlier, right? 379, 3.92. Yeah. Now let me quickly double check on my handheld calculator. Just make sure nothing is, I didn't enter anything wrong. 469.36 times 72 minus 31. Yep, that's correct. And compare the monthly payments and the total interest for the two loans. Yeah, let's compare. Monthly payment wise, plan A has more, right? You pay more if you choose plan A every month. And plan B, you only need to pay like 400, like 200, around the 200 difference. But in the long run, if you look at the cost of the loan, the plan B is more expensive. Plan B is more expensive. The cost is almost 4,000, and for 3,800. But the cost for plan A is only shy 2,000. All right, so you can just write down that sentence. That's the comparison between the two plans. Comparison between the two plans. Okay, so that is this example. Let's keep going. So this part, we have the information about the leasing a car. Two types of leasing, closed-end and open-end. Yeah, please spend time to study that on your own. Benefits of leasing, disadvantages of leasing. My understanding is if your budget is limited and you want to drive a very fancy car and you cannot afford to buy one, then you can choose the option of leasing. The same money, you can lease a very fancy car. And once the contract is done, you just return it. You don't have to worry about to sell the car. And the disadvantage of leasing is you do not own the car. Yeah, after you are done with the contract, you have nothing. You have to consider again, are you going to buy a car or lease a car? You're going to face the same problem. And also, disadvantage of leasing a car, including penalties for ending the lease early. Yeah, if you regret, you don't like the car and you want to return it earlier, then you have to pay the penalty. Yeah, read those information. It's pretty interesting. And this part is about auto insurance. If you drive, either buying a car or leasing a car, you have to have auto insurance, at least liability, or more. Of course, if you have more, then it's more expensive. And that is very important. Not just the auto loan, not just the auto insurance. You have to pay the what is that called? Tag, right? Every year. Yeah. Go to the tag agency. You have to pay that. And new or used, buying a new car or used car. Yeah. There are pros and cons for each option. Yeah. Read those information yourself. We focus on solving the math problems. Let's look at example 2. Suppose that you are thinking about buying a car and have narrowed down your choices to 2 options. This is to compare 2 options again. I need to often double check I'm recording, I'm sharing, and I'm not muting myself. Okay, looks good. The first option, buy a new car. The cost is $35,000, and you can finance the car with a 5-year loan at 2.9%. And second option, you buy a used car, and the cost is a lot lower, only 24 grand. And the car loan is gonna be the car loan is a 5-year car loan at 3.6%, and the car is a 3-year-old model. A 3-year-old model of the same car, the same type of car. Yeah, that might not be a bad choice. 3-year-old depends on the mileage. If the car is in a very good shape, that could be a good option. And we are going to compare by looking at the monthly payment and the cost of the finance of the loan. Yeah, what's the difference in monthly payments between financing the new car and financing the used car? Yeah, that's the question we are going to answer. All right, in order to answer that question, we need to find the monthly payment for the first option, and the monthly payment for the second option. All right, I can actually make a table if you. I'm going to make a table. This is option 1, this is option 2, okay? And this is the payment, monthly payment. To find out the monthly payment of the option 1, let's organize the information. P, loan amount, 35 grand, expensive. T, loan longevity, the time of getting the loan, 5 years. R, annual interest rate, 2.9%, N, 12. So that's the information about option 1. Option 2, you need to borrow 24 grand only. And the loan is gonna be 5 year. It's also 5 year. Yeah, both of them are 5 years. And annual interest rate is higher. Yeah, why is that higher than that? 5 year at 2.9%. And option 2 is also 5 years, 3.6%. So that's why we need to do the math to figure out the correct choice, right? Yeah, to make the correct choice. Double check those information. Okay, so the payment, we are going to use the second method, all right? PMT. Yeah. So make sure you have that information on your scratch paper, because when I'm sharing my calculator, you will not see that anymore. So make sure you have that written on your scratch paper. And now I'm going to share my calculator. Yeah, I wish I had a emulator on my computer, but since it's a personal device, my personal device, our college will not install that on my personal device. So I have to figure out this way using my own documentary camera to share my calculator. You are sharing, okay. All right, so let's start it. Turn on my calculator. Yeah, I can restart it. Yeah, show you how do we go to the app. Go to apps, finance, TBM solver, and you will see this menu, right? Yeah. So let's see the first option. First option is 5 year loan. So 12 times 5. 12 times 5. And annual interest rate is 2.9. So just enter 2.9. Present value or the loan amount 35 grand, 35,000. And payment is we are going to solve for. Future value is 0, okay? Always 0 when it comes to loan. And P per Y, C per Y always 12. PMT, okay, let's solve for that. Double check, 2.9, 5 years, 35 grand. Okay, so the monthly payment of the first option is $627.35. Let me write it down. It is $627.35. You might wonder on the calculator how come the monthly payment is negative? It's negative because that's the money going out of your pocket. All right, so we can just fix some numbers on this menu to find the payment of the second option. All right, yeah, look at your scratch paper. What's the information for the second option? It's also 5-year loan, right? So it's still 60. You don't have to change that. Annual interest rate is different, 3.6, and change that to 3.6. And the loan amount is different. You do not need to borrow 35 grand because you are buying a used car. You only need to borrow 24 grand. 24 grand. Everything else stays the same, and we solve for PMT. Alpha enter. $437.68. Rounded up to the nearest cents. We have $437 68 cents. 68 cents. Right? 68 cents. Okay. Very convenient. Yeah, if you timed my the process, maybe it's just spend 2 minutes on it. Yeah, very, very convenient. So let me go back. Let's go back our notes. We are going to use the monthly payments for both options to answer the question. Waiting for the tunnel. Okay. So look at this table. We can compare the monthly payments between financing the new car. Yeah, the first option is financing the new car. Same car, right? Same car. Is just this one is new and this one is 3 years used. And what's the difference? And the difference, you just use 627.35. Yeah, you can use your handheld calculator and to see if you have the same amount with me. 627.35 cents minus 437.68 cents. The difference is $189.67. So what do you think? Same year, same period of time, same 5 years, Even the second option has higher interest rate, you still end up with less monthly payment. So about $200 less burden if you buy the used car. Yeah. So that's your option. This is what we have by looking at the numbers. All right. That's example 2. Continue. Some important information about the cost of owning a car. So here, the significant expense of owning and operating a car is shown in the table below. According to the American Automobile Association, I'm not sure if that AAA the same with the insurance company. It is interesting to look it up, right? The average yearly cost of owning and operating a car is nearly 11 grand. And this table lists the cost for different type of cars: small sedan, electric vehicle, yeah, EV, SUV, minivan, large sedan. Yeah, small sedan is the cheapest. Mine is a hybrid. I like my hybrid a lot. It's very good mileage. And the cost of gasoline. Yeah, annual fuel expense is annual miles driven divided by miles per gallon. So that's how do you find your annual fuel expense. And then multiply price per gallon. Okay, so let's look at this example, example 3. Do some math about the mileage. Yeah. Suppose that you drive 24,000 miles per year. Let me see what's the daily driving mileage. If we divide 24 grand by 52, then weekly mileage is 461. If we divide it by 7, let's say you have to drive in weekends. So every day you drive around 66 miles, back and forth like 30 miles. Yeah, that could be for someone who lives in the suburban and works in the city. Or anyway, that's the miles you drive every year. And gas average is $4 per gallon. That's very expensive. Part A, what will you save in annual fuel expenses by owning a hybrid car averaging 50 miles per gallon rather than an SUV averaging 12 miles per gallon? Okay, let's see how much you save. Okay, you have to drive 24 grand every year. 24 grand miles every year. And let's make a table. Yeah, let's make a table again. And this is the hybrid. This is the, what's that, SUV. Yeah. And for the hybrid, 50 miles per gallon. So how much gallons, number of gallons do you need for a year? And you're gonna have to divide 24,000 by 50, right? Yeah, 24,000 is in miles. 50 is in miles per gallon. So when we take the quotient, the result is gonna be in gallon. Let's see how much is that. Yeah, I'm going to use the calculator, my handheld calculator. You can do the same thing on your calculator and then compare with my answer. 480. So if you drive a hybrid for 1 year, you need a 480 gallons gas. But if you drive the SUV, since the SUV takes burn 1 gallon only can drive 12 miles, then let's see how many gallons you need. 24,000 divided by 12, and that's easy to calculate. You need 2,000, right? Let me double check the answer, because that's almost 4 times. Yeah, that makes sense because it's almost more than 4 times. 24,000 divided by 50, so 480, and multiplied by 4. Yeah, that's correct. 2,000 gallons. Yeah, and every gallon $4. So the total cost. We multiply this 480 gallons by $4, and this is 2,000 gallons. You needed 2,000 gallons to run a car. Let's see what's the dollar amount you spend on each car. 480 times 4, $1,920. And the second option, 2,000 times 4, $8,000. Wow, that's a huge difference, right? Yeah, more than 4 times more. More than 4 times more. Yeah, because 50 is more than 4 times 12. The cost, the corresponding cost, of course, is the same. If you drive the hybrid, 1920 divided by 365. No, I'm going to divide it by what? 1920 divided by 12. Yeah, that makes sense. Every month, a couple of $100. That's pretty much my expense. Okay, part B. If you deposit your monthly fuel savings at the end of each month into an annuity, we learned annuity yesterday, right? In previous video, that pays 7.3% compounded monthly how much will you have saved at the end of 6 months? 6 years, sorry, 6 years. Okay, if you deposit your monthly fuel savings, that means you are going to switch to hybrid from SUV. So your monthly saving is going to be monthly saving. Okay, monthly fuel saving. So we are going to use 8,000 minus 1920 and then divide by 12. Let's see what is that. Yearly saving 8,000 minus 1920. That's yearly saving $6,080 divided by 12. Monthly saving is around equal to $506.67. Okay, 67 cents. And if you deposit your monthly fuel savings at the end of each month, so n equals 12, we are doing annuity right now, pays annual interest rate 7.3%. How much will you have saved at the end of 6 years? So t equals 6. Yeah, write down those information on your scratch paper. This is gonna be your monthly payment, PMT, all right? PMT. You save 500 each every month. If you deposit that money in an annuity, into an annuity, and after 6 years, how much money do you have? So get that information written on your scratch paper, and we are going to go to the calculator again. Use the TVM solver. Share camera. Okay, so turn on my calculator. Yeah, this is the TVM solver, right? For how many years? Yeah, look at the scratch paper. For 6 years, but you deposited 12 by month. So 12 times 7. Sorry, 12 times 6. Yeah, 12 times 6, 72. And interest rate 7.3. That's very high. Very high. And present value. Annuity, remember, the present value, the beginning always a 0. You have nothing in your annuity until the first payment. And your monthly payment is gonna be negative 506.67. And your future value is something we are going to solve for, right? Yeah. P per Y, C per Y is gonna be 12 because you deposit the payment every month, end of every month, and the interest is compounded monthly as well. So keep those as 12. And we are going to solve for future value. 45 grand, $604.48. Okay, let me copy the result here. Our future value, yeah, your future value of your annuity is around equal to, in 6 years, 45604 45604.48. Yeah. 45 grand. 45 grand. In 6 years, that could be a down payment for buying a house. Very decent amount. Very decent amount for buying for the down payment of buying a house. So that's how much money you would have in annuity in 6 years. Oh, that's the end of the note. All right, so after this video, you can work on, you should look at my table note as well for the summary of the car loan, funding the monthly payment for the car loan, and then work on your assignments. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me and I'll see you in the next video. Okay.